In modern architectural design, it is common to see houses with missing sectors. Missing sector refers to missing corner of the house. We will use a few examples to illustrate the concept of missing sectors. This is an example of a house with north missing sector. From the layout of the house, you can observe a gap in the north sector of the house. This is an example of a house with a southeast missing sector. As you can see from the layout of the house, the southeast sector of the house is missing. At this point, many people would ask, what is the implication of having missing sectors in your house? To understand the implication of missing sector, we need to know the concept of Ba Gua, namely early Heaven Ba Gua and later Heaven Ba Gua. The early heaven governs the health of the occupant, while the later heaven governs the wealth of the occupant. Each missing sector represents different family members, and therefore bring about various implications in terms of health, wealth, and career. If the northwest sector of your house is missing, based on early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Li Gua person will be affected. Li Gua person refers to female occupants aged above 60. The area of health affected would be brains and lungs. Based on later Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Geng Gua person will be affected. And Geng Gua person refers to male occupants below the age of 60. From career and business perspective, it affects people in the management consulting, policy making, finance, legal, and hardware business. If the north sector of your house is missing, based on the early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Three Gua person will be affected. Three Gua people refers to female occupants below the age of 16. The area of health affected would be kidney and womb. Based on later Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Kun Gua person will be affected. Kun Gua person refers to women with kids. From the career and business perspective, it affects people in the logistic and transportation, shipping, supermarket, strategic thinking, planning, and research profession. If the northeast sector is missing, based on the early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Qian Gua person will be affected. Qian Gua person refers to male occupants with kids. The area of health affected would be spine and nose. Based on the latent Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Zhen Gua person will be affected. Zhen Gua person refers to married men without kids. From the career and business perspective, it affects people in the traditional Chinese medicine, natural healing, yoga, and healthcare industry. If the east sector is missing, based on the early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Geng Gua person will be affected. Geng Gua person refers to male occupants below the age of 60. The area of health affected would be leg and gallbladder. Based on later Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Li Gua person will be affected. Li Gua person refers to female above the age of 16. From career and business perspective, it affects people in the human resource, recruitment, journalism, sportsman, and education industry. If the southeast sector is missing, based on early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Kun Gua person will be affected. Kun Gua person refers to women with kids. The area of health affected would be hips and liver. Based on the later Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Three Gua person will be affected. And Three Gua person refers to female below the age of 16. From career and business perspective, it affects people in the interior design, fashion, florist, design and art, and project management profession. If the south sector of your house is missing, based on early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Zhen Gua person will be affected. Zhen Gua person refers to married men without kids. The area of health affected would be eyes and heart. Based on later Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Qian Gua person will be affected. And Qian Gua person refers to men with kids. From a career and business perspective, it affects people in the spa and beauty, IT, media, airline, and electronics industry. If the southwest of the house is missing, based on early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Kan Gua person will be affected. Kan Gua person refers to male aged above 16 years old. The area of health affected would be skin and stomach. Based on later Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Xun Gua person will be affected. Xun Gua person, in this case, refers to married women without kids. From career and business perspective, it affects people in the real estate, construction, childcare, nutritionists, and organic food supply business. if the west sector of the house is missing. Based on the early Heaven Ba Gua, the health of the Xun Gua person will be affected. Xun Gua person refers to married women without kids. The area of health affected would be lung and mouth. Based on the later Heaven Ba Gua, the wealth of the Kan Gua person will be affected. Kan Gua person refers to male above the age of 60. From career and business perspective, it affects people in the public relation, entertainment, sales, marketing communication, and hairstyling industry. At this point, many clients would have asked, how do we overcome the issue of missing sector in our house without going through the hassle of moving house? Solving the problem of missing sector can be as simple as ensuring the optimal flow of energy within the compound of your house. This can be done with the application of Imperial Feng Shui. In Imperial Feng Shui, we apply the potent combination of Imperial White Inkstone and Qianlong Jadeite Mountain to overcome the Sa-Qi generated from the missing sector. Imperial White Inkstone has the powerful ability of 100遮山丑, 1望挡山上. It can promote the auspicious energy of one sector while countering 3 inauspicious sectors. At the same time, it empowers occupants with benefactor, power, and authority. The Qianlong Jadeite Mountain was created by Emperor Qianlong and his team of Imperial Feng Shui Master to resolve the challenge of building a palace surrounded by auspicious landform like the metal elemental mountain. The Qianlong Jadeite Mountain can help one amplify the benefactor support, health, and relationship harmony. In the next episode, I will review the 3 most commonly used classical feng shui methods to identify wealth sector and the flaws of these methods. Thank you for watching my video. If you do like my content, please leave me a like and subscribe to my YouTube and Instagram channel.